Moving on to miscellaneous under A. This is for the introduction and first reading of the ordinance number 2008-2.203 entitled An Ordinance Regulating and Restricting Noise Pollution in the City of Sac City, Iowa. Is there any discussion on this matter? Sure. And would anyone from FC like to address the council on this? Or? And if you want to stand at the desk up here.
I think our main intent is to share with you any information that you would like to know in terms of what we've done to address the concerns previously brought up, and also just to hear, where we're at from a city standpoint. And it's kind of a learning for us too. So we can, if there's specific questions, whatever it might be, from this group that we can help with, we would be happy to.
To help our clerk out, would you mind stating your name and who you are, what you do a little bit, so that we can enter that into the minutes, please?
Mm-hmm. My name is Matt Loney, L-O-N-E-Y. I'm Vice President of Feed Operations for Farmers Cooperative Company.
So have you folks been informed, or you're familiar with the proposed ordinance and the complaints that have been brought forward? So, okay.
Yes. So again, would you just like to understand from our end what we've done? Is that okay? As we heard about the complaints, it's a challenge in our industry at all of our mills, and I think all feed mills in the state of Iowa, with the use of DDGs as a feed ingredient. It's a byproduct of the ethanol plants. Moisture levels can tend to vary a little bit coming out of the plants. It's not a real specifically regulated commodity at this point. So the flowability of that product in our bins is what our challenge has been. And in this particular area, to get those ingredients to flow, we have pounded on the bins and tried to make the flowability so we can perform our operations. So what we have done is staggered out more regularly the receiving of semi-loads of DDGs that we get, so we don't have so much piled up that they tend to pack and not want to flow. So we're receiving this ingredient essentially 24 hours a day. That's probably been our best help in terms of, having this ingredient work for us or flow for us. We've tried out a variety of vendors to try to get the best quality and consistency, so we don't have to be as concerned about the moisture levels, for example. Other things that we're exploring are coatings that we could put on the inside of the bin. We're exploring the option of some air impulses into the bins to create some flow or jar the product loose for us. If I'm leaving anything out, Justin? Oh, we have what's known as a bin whip, and it's used commonly in the industry with grain or feed. The one that we had didn't work as well. It was a little bit oversized for the bins that we have here in Sac City. But that's also an option for us to essentially stirrate the product and keep it flowing for us. We've explored the use of more of a dead blow hammer, more of a plastic or rubber coated hammer versus a steel mallet to reduce the amount of noise. So it's been challenging for us, but I know recently, and we begin to document any time that we've had to do any kind of pounding, and I know it's been greatly reduced, if not entirely eliminated, but we certainly are not doing it and trying not to do it, certainly in the late hours of the night. Justin, I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
There's been we have at times actually shut our facility down to the point that we'd have to go out and pound on the structure known as hung up all night, we sent our employees home till morning, so try to avoid some of these complaints. We also basically worked with a third party, doing some noise level surveys to see what area we're at. To try to see if we can operate within the ordinance in which has been proposed. And also by them surveys to determine if there's something we would have to build or modify and know what that would drop our decimal level to. I mean, right now we had no idea, an unproposed number at this point, so now we have some data that we know what we can operate with. So.
Are you saying you can operate under the 75 dB base?
We have done a test with John, the chief of police, and the test we ran showed that we would be more than 75 decibel.
Now my question either to Adam or John, on this, on the general prohibition of the, it says any noise measured in excess of 55 dBAs for residential zone property, 75 for non-residential zone property. That's where the sound originates, or is that where the sound?
Like if you're the complaining party, it'd be at your house.
Okay, so like in that case, it'd be.
From that, I went up to that neighborhood.
It'd be 50,
And I took
55.
Yeah. But for them, I went up to the neighborhood that's been complaining.
No, actually, the house that the
Yeah.
complaint is receiving is in a commercial zone.
Oh, so they're under 75 level then?
Yes.
When they banged the other day, it was 69. So I tested that.
How did we arrive at these two levels?
They were based on information I collected from different cities, what their ranges were for both residential and non-residential areas.
And you tell me, when you talk to the different cities up here, are you looking at average, or are you looking at peak?
I'm looking, when it pertains to to what they had written in their ordinance, I'm looking for the limitation. That's all I was looking for, is what their limitations
One
were.
of the people we have come to read this, it should be on average, or that's what they run into normally, is it's an average level over an 8-hour period. What's the average?
Oh, you're speaking about continuous,
Right.
the continuality of the sound. Actually, I believe that's addressed.
I can't remember reading which way you want to read.
It says factors for determining whether a sound is unreasonably loud or raucous in violation. It says that these are the factors that John will take into consideration when he does the test. The duration of the sound, the time of day or night the sound occurs, the land use, nature, or zoning of the area from which the sound emanates in the area which it is received or perceived, whether the sound is recurrent, intermediate, or constant, and of course the last thing would be the results of the police sound leveling testing at the location of complaint.
Where did you read that at?
That is on the second page under General Prohibition B, or 3B, I guess is
Okay.
what it falls. So there isn't any current ordinance numbers associated with the different pieces.
So John, can you tell me in the last month that we've been pretty much under compliance?
Yep, I've not received any complaints in the last month.
Including the original person's complaint received.
Yep, I haven't received none since that one council meeting over here.
You did some additional testing with equipment as well. Would you mind sharing that with them?